I'm Attorney Gloria Allred, and with me is our client, Mahim Khan. I'll be making a statement. She's not going to be making a statement or answering any questions. But on December 2nd, 2019, a Los Angeles County jury awarded our client, Mahim Khan, $50 million in punitive damages against Alki David. The same jury also awarded Ms. Khan $8,250,000 in compensatory damages against Alki David and two of his companies, Alki David Productions and Film On TV, Inc. The evidence admitted at the trial was that Mr. David would walk into Ms. Khan's cubicle while she was working, swivel her chair until she faced him, and then grab her neck and thrust it towards his pelvic area while making moaning sounds. Our law firm also presented evidence at the trial that there were times that Mr. David would drop his pants while engaging in this contact, and sometimes Mahim's head would also make contact with Mr. David's pelvis. There was also evidence that Mr. David grabbed Ms. Khan's vagina on multiple occasions. One witness testified that she observed Mr. David come up behind Ms. Khan, put his hand between her legs, and grab her vagina. There was also testimony that Mr. David grabbed Ms. Khan's breasts on numerous occasions. Ms. Khan also testified that while she was at work, Mr. David shoved her into a chair and performed a lap dance while placing his hand behind her head and pressing his pelvic area towards her head. These events and other misconduct engaged in by Mr. David had a devastating impact upon Ms. Khan. The jury that heard Ms. Khan's case determined that Mr. David had committed sexual battery upon her. Today we requested that the Beverly Hills Police Department conduct an investigation to determine whether Mr. David's conduct also constitutes sexual battery under the criminal law. So we began the conversation today with law enforcement. We've been inside the police station since approximately 11:30, and we are going to return tomorrow to finish that conversation so that a police report can be made, because there is so much detail and there's so many documents that we want to present to them that we need to return to do that, and we'll be doing that tomorrow at 3 o'clock. So I'm happy to answer any questions, but I think this is important. Of course, to prove punitive damages to punish, that's damages which a jury will award only in rare occasions and when they feel that the conduct engaged in shocks the conscience of the community, which they obviously found. They found that he acted with malice. That's on the jury form, which we have provided to the jury verdict form. More evidence provided for the criminal case, because in a criminal case it is the burden of the prosecutor to prove guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. That's slightly more evidence than is required in a civil case. But we do think there is sufficient evidence for them to conduct an investigation, after which it'll be for the district attorney to decide whether or not they feel that there should or should not be charges.
How many incidents of sexual abuse are you alleging?
There are a number of them. And that's why this is going to be a long conversation tomorrow. But certainly it's important for any criminal charge, if it is charged, that we prove the elements of the crime, sexual battery. And that is, we provide facts which would support support such a charge, and then it would be for the prosecutor to decide if a charge should be filed.
Would it help the criminal case that?
Pardon me?
Would it help the criminal case that she's already won the civil case, or are they two entirely separate, not related?
I think that, that's an important question, and the answer is she has testified under oath. She testified in her deposition under oath. She's testified at the trial under oath. There were witnesses that testified, and have observed some of what she alleged. Witness did, and but for the purpose of a criminal case, they essentially have to start from scratch and start all over, because they cannot use the testimony under oath that was provided in the civil case. However, they're certainly going to be aware, and are aware, that there is a civil verdict.
This is a large sum of money that's been reported.
Yes, we think, I'm being conservative when I say that it may be one of the largest in the nation. To date, we have not found any larger. So, but just in case there's something we're not seeing, we're saying it may be. But for sexual harassment, sexual battery, both of which the jury in their verdict form answered yes to, we haven't found one that is larger than this for one employee against one employer. Of course, we also won a case previous to this for another client it was like a few weeks prior or a month prior, that our LA County jury also found in favor of our other client, Lauren Reeves, and awarded $5 million. Part of which was also punitive damages.
What message does that send?
Yeah, that's what I was just
Which
when
one?
it comes to sexual harassment?
It's so interesting that often sexual harassment cases are thought of as only civil cases. Sexual harassment in the workplace, by the way, her workplace was right here at Beverly Hills. That's where we go, to the Beverly Hills Police Department, because Film On is located in Beverly Hills. The message that it should send is that in some sexual harassment cases, not all, depending on the facts, that what occurs may, in addition to being a civil wrong, a tort, sexual harassment, and sexual battery, perhaps intentional infliction of severe emotional distress, it may also constitute criminal misconduct that could be prosecuted as a crime. So again, we're asking for an investigation to leave them to decide if the underlying conduct, which is alleged by Ms. Khan, and facts of which will also be provided potentially by others, potential witnesses, whether that constitutes a crime or not. Sexual battery is a crime. It can be either a misdemeanor or a felony if the facts constitute, in the opinion of the prosecutors, a crime. It could be prosecuted either as a misdemeanor or a felony. So in other words, if a person resists and there is contact between a perpetrator, an accused, and a victim, where there is contact between, and I shouldn't paraphrase the statute, essentially I'm saying this, with an intimate part of one or the other, potentially, and it's not consented to, and there is restraint or resistance, it may constitute a crime as well. Bottom line is, I do think that others should come forward if they believe they have been victims of Mr. David, and speak to the Beverly Hills Police Department if they allege that there was misconduct in Beverly Hills or even elsewhere. And we urge them to do so. It may or may not be something that the district attorney will prosecute. We'll have to wait and see.
Is there an opportunity for an appeal?
You mean in the civil case?
Yes.
It is our understanding that Mr. David has indicated that he is going to appeal. And he can attempt to do so. I don't know what grounds he will have, but that'll be for him or through this attorney to assert. He's also said that he'll never pay 1 cent. We're going to vigorously pursue him to pay every cent, every dollar that is owed to Ms. Khan. He needs to be accountable. And that is our job, is to make him accountable in every sense of the word.
So Gloria, why did you file the charges now? I mean, you already have civil cases. Sometimes it's criminal and civil. You know, I mean, I would just know like what you're doing.
Why now? My answer would be, why not now?
Well, my question really is why did you guys wait this long? I mean, if the crime has been committed, why would you wait this long?
Okay, well, we felt that it was important to pursue the civil case first, which we did successfully. And now we think that it's important for there to be an investigation by law enforcement. And that's why we're here. We believe that she is within the statute of limitations. And that is, so we think this is timely to come. But having said that, if there is any other person who believes that she or he is a victim of Mr. David, in reference to, for example, sexual battery or sexual harassment in the workplace, we urge them to come forward, even if they are not within the time period statute of limitations, for a case to be prosecuted by the LA County District Attorney. It's always important to make a police report. It could be helpful in another case. And I think that it certainly would be important at this time. So I don't want any member of the public to worry about, well, am I within the time period or not? Feel free to contact me or law enforcement right here at the Beverly Hills Police Station.
What kind of man is this person? How would you describe him?
Well, I describe him as a defendant in our civil case.
Character?
I think his conduct or misconduct speaks for itself. The jury heard the evidence that was admitted in the courtroom. The court itself has sanctioned him. More than one judge has sanctioned him for his conduct during a trial or just in the courthouse. So we think what he has done was clear to the jury, and that's why they came back with the verdict that they did.
I know you're speaking on behalf of Ms. Khan. Is there anything at all that she would want to say just about how she's doing?
She's not going to make any statements, but I will say this. She is very, very brave to have to endure what went on during this trial and the numerous attacks on her. And she just soldiered through and was very, very courageous. And now she's going to be courageous again, because she's going to give all of the information, provide all the facts to law enforcement. She is willing to endure testifying at a preliminary hearing if necessary, if charges are filed, testifying at the trial if necessary. I mean, justice has to be done for Mahim Khan.
How do you feel the Me Too movement, or just the current sort of climate of today? Do you think that this climate today played any sort of role versus maybe even 5 years ago?
We did have 2 jurors speak at our press conference after the verdict. I believe that they and the rest of the jury, they were very thoughtful in terms of reviewing the evidence and deciding what their verdict should be. Of course, juries are always instructed to just decide the case based on whatever evidence is admitted in the court and in the trial, and we have every reason to believe that's what they did. For me, the Me Too movement is all about the empowerment of women and their courage to seek legal remedies and also to have their voice heard, to make those who harm them accountable, either in a civil case or a criminal case or both, or even just by speaking out. So, yes, I think the empowerment of women is what it's all about, and making those accountable who have harmed them, who have inflicted injustices against them. And this is going to continue into 2020. As you know, I represent accusers in the Harvey Weinstein case, the Jeffrey Epstein case, the R. Kelly case, the Cosby case, the Cuba Gooding Jr. case. So women are not going to be deterred. They're going to be brave. And they're going to seek accountability from those who have harmed them. As simple as that. But this happened to her, and I think it makes it a better world for others as well. And I know that Mahim is not just thinking of herself. She does care about others, other women. She doesn't want anyone else to be subjected to what she had to endure, which was horrendous. I cannot even speak about some of what took place in that workplace. It is so disgusting, so unacceptable, horrific. So that's it. We will be back tomorrow. We expect that a report will be filed tomorrow, because after we take whatever hours are necessary to complete the investigation by police officer detective. The report will be filed, and then it will be in their hands. So that's it. Any other questions?
Are you going to comment tomorrow? Or
Maybe.
maybe?
At the end. You'll note it. At the
Or
end.
you'll let us
But we're
know.
going to come in at 3. I will.
Okay.